This is the Ayer Conservation Commission meeting, Thursday, May 28th, 2020. Welcome all. Nice to see you. Do we have a confirmation of agenda?
Yes, the agenda is set as written.
Okay. Motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't need to do a roll call for this, do we?
Not for this.
Not for this, yeah. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Approval of the meeting minutes. Any comments about the minutes besides the fact that they're always wonderful?
No, nothing besides that.
Yep.
They continue to be wonderful.
Good.
So look at
Recommended bedtime reading if you're having trouble falling asleep.
Yeah. I never have trouble, ever. Motion to approve the meeting minutes as written.
So moved.
second?
So we'll do a roll call for this. George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Yes?
Aye.
Chairman votes aye. Minutes are approved. Do we have any accounts payable?
We do not have any accounts payable, and when we get to office updates, we'll have a little discussion item about the agenda item called accounts payable. But for the moment, nothing payable.
Nothing payable. Very good. Are there any announcements?
I saw a loon last night.
How'd it taste?
Stringy.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. And it made one call.
Ooh.
Did anyone receive the newsletter from the Nashua River Watershed Association in the mail this week?
No.
No, I don't believe so.
It was really a wonderful report on why celebrate and protect wetlands. It was a really, really nicely written newsletter.
Oh, good. We usually get that in the office mail, so when it comes, I can share it with everybody.
Okay. So I guess first off, did we receive any advancement with this certificate of vote? Do we have a page number? And
We do not have a book or a page number yet for that. It was sent to town council last week, and there was a slim chance that it might be back this week, but it is not back.
okay.
So is it coming back to us and then going to the registry, or is it gone to the registry?
It's gone to the registry. Well, it's at town council. They're having their title examiner look at it, and then it's going to the registry. And then it will go back to town council, and town council will tell Carly, who will tell me that we're on record.
Okay.
It's a long road.
So we are severely hampered without that.
Yes, we are.
So our first item this evening is a public hearing, continued notice of intent for Ayer DPW Spectacle Pond PFAS treatment plant, DEP number 100-0443. And we cannot really proceed.
We cannot proceed, but we have a little bit of new information that we didn't have at the time of last meeting, and that is the PFAS plant project is not planned to go out to bid until mid-July this year, and construction is not expected to start until mid to late September. So we are not holding them up, and I am very relieved to know that. There was also a bit of back and forth with Natural Heritage about the turtle protection plan. And it's it's a very long, complicated story that doesn't really make sense to get into. But the last page of the story is that we don't need a turtle protection plan for this calendar year because the construction is going to start after the active period of the Blandings turtles. So the consulting company, which Maggie Lofsted works for, knows that they need to get their turtle protection plan approved by Natural Heritage in 2021. And I will remember, because Jess suggested I make a calendar reminder of this, to follow up with that next year.
Okay, very good. So hopefully we can get that certificate of vote squared away and proceed with this next meeting.
Hopefully.
What's the date of our next meeting? Someone who has a calendar.
I got one.
The 11th.
11? Thank you, Mike.
You beat me.
So Joanne, so they only need to do a protection plan during construction? I guess I don't remember. Was there anything that was going to be required actively at the site, like afterwards?
I think that's probably in the turtle protection plan, whether enough area is being disturbed that they need to replace nesting habitat somewhere else on the site. And I haven't seen, Oxbow did the turtle protection plan, and I haven't seen it. So
Okay.
Natural Heritage wants a condition that makes reference to a turtle protection plan. And they also wanted a second condition that's escaping me. So I think we're probably all set to just write simple conditions that reference a turtle protection plan that's going to be created in the future.
Okay.
So we could vote on that at our next meeting? Or tonight, or, well, you have to write up the conditions and then have it looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically something to the effect of, in accordance with the turtle protection plan provided by National Heritage, blah, 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 something like that.
Yeah, in accordance with the turtle protection plan written by Oxbow as required by Natural Heritage, something along those lines.
As
Right.
required and approved by Natural Heritage.
Okay.
In the future. Yeah, I learned that a turtle protection plan or a the requirement is only good for a calendar year. And so if Natural Heritage were to do all of that this year, they'd have to do it all again next year.
What happens when the construction goes over more than 12 months? Does it have to be re-upped? Or is the plan that Oxbow would draft something that would eclipse or encompass the whole construction?
It probably encompasses the whole life of the PFAS plant, actually, because I think,
Okay.
especially if it has turtle nesting habitat replication somewhere on the site, that has to be kept clear of vegetation and has to be inspected. And
All right.
Yep.
Any other comments from the commission? Any comments from audience?
No.
Good evening, Ken. Okay, so a motion to continue the public hearing. Aired the notice of intent, aired DPW Spectacle Pond PFAS treatment until June 11th.
Second.
Okay, so we'll do a roll call. George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Jen,
Aye.
Jess.
I,
Chairman votes aye. So we will continue that on June 11th. Next item this evening is a public hearing. Notice of intent, 0 Washington Street, Air Solar 2B, DEP file number 100-0444. Any news with that?
Well, the exciting update is that late this afternoon, we received communication from Ecotech with some comments back from the wetlands folks, the engineer, and the solar engineer, looking for a lot of other additional information
from GPR.
from GPR. Yes.
So, okay, so they're proceeding.
They are proceeding. Yep, they've been out to the site. At least the wetlands folks have, and I will look forward to digging into those questions early next week.
Have they already been forwarded on to GPR?
No.
Okay.
So any comments from the commission? Comments from the audience?
No.
Alrighty.
They'll go to GPR next week early.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that I had a clear enough head to understand what all the questions were before, to see if there was some that I could answer or if they all needed to be answered by GPR. And the day of a meeting is not a good time to try to have a clear head.
So shall we, is there a motion to continue the public hearing? Notice of intent, 0 Washington Street, Air Solar 2B until June 11th.
So,
Second.
Alrighty, so George, how do you vote?
aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Yes?
I,
Chairman votes aye. So that passes. Our next item this evening is a public hearing, notice of intent. Shaker Mill Pond, open space residential development, DEP file number 100-0437. Any news on that?
No news on that. We're just simply waiting for a book and page on our certificate of vote.
Okay. Any comments from anyone about that?
I have a question. Did the commission sign the order of conditions on that?
no, that's what the certificate of vote is for.
Oh,
So Joanne can sign on our behalf and then it can be recorded.
I got it. Okay. You mentioned that at the last meeting, but it kind of went over my head. Sorry.
Oh, it's a COVID-19 complication, and we're just kind of in a holding pattern waiting for this certificate of vote to come back from the Registry of Deeds with a book and page number, so we can then put the book and page number on permits.
On the certificate of compliance.
Order of conditions.
Order conditions, excuse me. Order of conditions.
Yeah.
So in essence, the order of conditions, if I wanted to see the order of conditions now, they're available.
Well, they're not very pretty right now. I've got all of the engineers' edits to the order. I just need to make the edits,
Okay.
which won't take me very long.
Just if it would have a chance, just give me a copy when they're done. I'd like to look at it out of curiosity and see how it lines up with all the planning board stuff we did. That's all.
Yeah, that would be an interesting exercise. Okay.
I'm also concerned with, if there's a potential for an appeal, and how that, I know that all the timing is off now with COVID-19, so I'm just,
Oh gosh, and the appeal, yeah, the appeal. I won't even try to explain it. If you want to call me at the office, Ken,
Okay,
I'll take the half hour it'll
There's
take
no
to
rush.
explain
That's
the
it. Thank
appeal
you.
period.
Any other comments? Okay, is there a motion to continue the public hearing, notice of intent, Shaker Mill Pond Open Space Residential Development, DEP file number 100-0437 until June 11th?
Second.
George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Jess?
I,
Chairman votes aye. That passes. Our next item this evening, public hearing, continued notice of intent, 270 Woodland Way, David Grubb, DEP file number 100-0442. Again, we're just in a holding pattern.
We are in a holding pattern. Dave thought he might be able to join us just to say hi tonight, but realized that he had a CPC meeting in his town,
oh,
the town that he works for. So he's not here.
I was going to say CPC. Right.
No, I'm trying to think which, Bill Ricca. I think he's the director of recreation in Bill Ricca. So
Is there any comments about this project from the commission or the audience? Nope. Okay. Motion to continue the notice of intent, 270 Woodland Way, David Grubb, DEP file number 100-0442 until June 11th.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Your dog votes aye. George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Jess?
I,
Chairman votes aye. So that will be continued till June 11th. Next item this evening is an enforcement order update 0 Central Avenue, John Hillier, map 26, parcel 281. Was Mr. Hillier able to join us this evening or no?
He was going to, and then he let me know today that he was not going to. I've got an email from him that I'm happy to read to you all with his update on the situation.
Yeah, would you please?
Sure. This was received by me this morning, sent by him yesterday afternoon. Hello, Joanne. Please ignore my previous email message. It should not have gone out. The purpose of this email is to provide an update to the progress on Central Ave, as I had indicated would be forthcoming for your next regularly scheduled meeting. As instructed by the Commission at the May 15th meeting, I have requested Ruth's permission to proceed with removing pavement using the process we and the Commission agreed to. We've been CC'd in that communication. Unfortunately, I have not received Ruth's approval at this time. If and when her permission is granted, I indicated to her I could have the task completed within a couple of days. Please rest assured I'm looking forward to getting this resolved as soon as possible. Secondly, as promised, I have engaged legal counsel for the remaining issues that the Commission has communicated. As such, I'm unable to comment at this time until representation is fully briefed on all matters and will respectfully decline attending tomorrow's meeting. If I have missed anything here, please feel free to let me know. Thank you, John.
Can I ask you to read that one paragraph that says, it starts with something about gauge? Towards the end.
I don't think there was anything about Gage.
Was it Page?
Page. So was it something about the pavement or the other enforcement order?
I think it was the other.
Okay, so secondly, as promised, I have engaged
Oh, Engage. Oh, okay.
engaged legal counsel for the remaining issues that the Conservation Commission has communicated.
There was a blip and I didn't hear
Ah,
any
yes.
part.
Yes, engaged.
Page, okay. So the negotiations have broken down, or they're just not continuing.
Well, so I have another email here from Ruth. I've spoken with her several times over the last week.
Joanne,
Yes.
let me just interrupt you if you don't mind. The email, I'm not sure if that is anything to be passed along yet, possibly, right? The way I read that.
I think
Communication from
because
Ruth?
it involves some legal issues between Ruth and Mr. Hillier, we should probably keep that out of our public meeting. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sorry.
Ruth, yes, I'm not going to read Ruth's email,
Okay.
if that's what you're getting at.
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to.
Oh, yeah, no.
Thanks, Joe.
She and I spoke maybe twice today, I think, and she's also engaged her attorney, and he has supplied her with some sample language that is complicating our issues here. I think that's the best way to put it. And I've asked her to speak further with her attorney before she talks to us again. So she's trying the best she can to move this forward. She's really being very responsive, and but they are kind of at an impasse, Ruth and John, right at the moment.
Okay, so we've gone as far as we can go with that at the time being. I'm assuming.
I think so.
Okay, it's a little disturbing, but it is what it is.
And then the other enforcement order on the needing to come up with a notice of intent and plan, which he's contesting, that's the deadline on that isn't until our next meeting. So we can't really do anything on that one.
Right. I think his deadline for the notice of intent was June 15th.
Nope, that's
for the notice of intent.
That July?
I think it's June 15th. I think the July is the Taft Road notice of intent.
Yeah, it's June 15th. Why did we pick the 15th and not our next meeting?
I don't know.
Brains.
I think we wanted to enjoy Flag Day on the 14th.
That must have been it. Yes.
Okay, so the notice of intent has to be June 15th, or has to be to us by June 15th. Didn't we basically identify that the pavement needed to be gone by today?
Today.
Yeah.
That was the hope.
And if I saw the email that first started the conversation between he and Ruth, didn't that just go out like earlier this week? Or did I see the date?
I think he and Ruth have been in contact with each other and we weren't privy to that communication. So I think you're right, though, that the first email that we got was this week.
Yeah. But he does reference that he thanked Ruth for calling him back last Tuesday, the 19th.
Yeah.
So he was trying earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to check to make sure that we were actually seeing some action on this. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just going to continue to push, and I'm just getting a little frustrated. But, okay.
Well, you know what? We can do a couple of things. I think we can call DEP and say, today's deadline has come and gone. Ruth and John are trying to work it out, but they're not making any progress. And ask DEP to step in.
How do people feel about that?
I would rather wait to ask DEP to step in on the issue of the submitting the plan and the dispute over the intermittent stream versus ditch, because the issue on the paving has legal issues between Ruth and Mr. Hillier that are beyond our control. So that's a dog behind me. Sorry.
Sounds like a baby.
Yeah.
Well, the reason to get DEP involved now is so that they'll be ready to put their hands out and catch the next deadline as it goes, sailing by. They'll already be working on one of the enforcement orders when June 15th comes.
So we have one more meeting before the 15th, obviously the June 11th one we continued everything to. If we can communicate to both parties that, our next step is to touch base with DEP, and we'd like to make sure that this gets resolved. We know that they're working through this. That's not a simple issue. We appreciate that, but at the same time, this has now lingered for much too long. So time is of the essence, basically. I guess before we get DEP involved, Joanne, they're already apprised of this, right? Didn't we already speak with them?
Yeah, Denise Child, the section chief, wetlands section chief for us, reached out to John by phone, by email again, and he never responded to her as far as I know.
All right, so the idea of them catching this as we pass our next item or our next date is still essentially in play, right?
I think all I would have to do is email Denise and cattail. I'm happy to do whatever you guys decide. I think we have to just put our foot down at some point and say to Mr. Hillier, enough is enough.
But I just think we probably get a better or more efficient response from DEP if they weren't having to pick up one strand here and then another strand 2 weeks later. You know how you have to get your head focused on a project, and it's efficiency of their focus. I don't know. That's my
it may.
So Jess, you're saying that if the 15th passes without an NOI, then that's when we would get them involved. Is that what you're saying, Jess?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think Mark's suggestion of contacting both parties and saying, our next step will be, contacting DEP and urging them to resolve this issue is a good one. So that's what we can do in between these two meetings, between this meeting and our next. And then we can talk about it again at our next meeting.
How do you feel about that, George?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Jess. I'm not sure DEP would be that enthusiastic about taking on the first one, since it's more of a property line issue than a wetlands issue. So let's wait till we get to the wetlands issue before we bring them into the mix.
How do you feel about that, Jen?
I agree. I think to both Joanne and Jess and Mark's point, to give them that kind of heads up, that warning that this is where we're going to go, and then we can have that final conversation on the 11th. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm tending to lean that way myself.
Oh,
Yes.
also reflecting on our discussion at the last meeting, and Mr. Hillier had said that we hadn't given him any documentation. He did, as I observed in the minutes, cut me off that while I was bringing up that historical article from the 40s, referring to that unnamed wetland system. But more to the point, we have good reason to think and to know that that's part of the larger wetland system. And the burden of proof is on him disputing that. It's not on us. Wouldn't that be true, George?
Yeah, I would think so.
I just didn't have the wherewithal to think of responding like that last time, but I did want to get that into the new minutes.
We also have precedents on our side because we already permitted him once.
And this is information that he's just choosing to ignore?
Yeah, wait, say what you were saying again, George?
We have precedents on our side because we permitted him once years ago on the same wetland.
Yeah. And he did just have it flagged last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So are we in agreement that come June 15th and nothing has happened, then make the phone call to DEP and get them involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that sounds good. We don't need to, do we need to vote on this, on a continuance on this enforcement order?
I don't think so. No.
No, because it's not a public hearing.
Was there a phone call coming in? Or what was
There
that?
is?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I did have a question, but I hear you're talking about we're not being a public meeting.
Wait, who's
No, it's a
calling?
public meeting.
This is Dave Bedertha from 28 Coolidge Road in Ayer.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, David. No,
Good
it's,
evening.
it's a public meeting. It's just not a public hearing.
Oh, okay, very good. I guess I wasn't going to call, but I'm a little bit concerned that you keep pushing this off with Zero Central Ave. I mean, it seems like he's been given plenty of notice. I don't know why DEP is not now going to be involved. I don't understand why it's getting pushed off week by week. My opinion is not important, but I don't believe he's going to hit the June 15th date. So you're just pushing this out, ongoing and ongoing.
Well,
I mean, it's been going on since what, January?
our enforcement order requiring a notice of intent and plan specified June 15th. So we're sort of locked in by that on our own end.
And there have been some.
But you also have non-compliance for what was due at this meeting.
Which George had a good point that the issue of the paving is important, but that's less likely to get DEP's big interest since there are complicating legal issues as is the other. So it'd be better to tag those two together.
Okay. Well, I
That's-
just wanted to express my concern that, I mean, I did this for 9 years with you guys, and DEP is always interested in being kept up to date, even if they're not going to get involved immediately. But they also are not big on having everything dumped on them at the last minute with multiple different issues. So that's why I wanted to express my concern.
Well,
Okay, well, thank you.
Joanne,
Okay.
Joanne, what would be, we could just provide a summary update of, for the minutes from the last meeting and stuff from this meeting and the emails to DEP, just FYI, and that we expect we would be contacting them after June 15th, but just keeping Denise apprised.
Yes, and
I think that's a great idea. So then they're aware, but you're not asking them to do something, but they're aware of what's going on. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think the communication to both parties, Joanne, why don't we copy Denise?
Sure.
On that one?
Yep.
So like you said, we're keeping our apprised, letting her know that we're having the difficulties, and again, letting them know that the June 15th date is a hard, fast date in which we'll be looking for DEP assistance.
all right.
Okay, I am going to hang up. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, David. Alrighty, so we will address this issue later. And our next item.
Comments from the public.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead, Ken.
Rarely do I agree with David, but in this particular case, I'll express my frustration as a citizen with the process, and not my frustration with your commission, who's been stuck with the process. That this has been going on for a long time without his cooperation. I'd emphasize, speaking as a citizen, I would say that any pressure that you can continue to put on by notifying DEP and notifying the applicant that you've notified DEP or whatever, I believe would be a good move by the Conservation Commission. And I really would hope that your commission would get some support from elsewhere. For instance, from the select board or town manager or whatever. I feel that it's uncomfortable for you folks to have to be the only agent in town that's addressing this issue. I'm upset by the fact that he cleared all the trees and went ahead and did many things, before you guys even got involved. So I'd express my concern as a citizen that, keep notifying DEP and let them know that they're going to be in the process, and good luck with that.
Okay, thank you. Well, we will, I think, CC them emails from now on and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, I think because there are lawyers involved on multiple sides there, I think we need to do everything in writing with appropriate paper trail and CCing, etc. So,
Any other comments on this? Thank you, Ken, for your input.
You're welcome.
Our next item is an action item. Let's see. Outline discretionary criteria for accepting applications during pandemic state of emergency.
there was a one
You have
thing.
to back up one.
Did I miss one?
Yep, the determination of applicability for Julian.
Zhao?
Now?
Yep,
I don't
140.
have it on my agenda. I must have, was that added?
Oh, well, you know what? You're probably looking at the draft agenda, not the final stamped agenda.
More than likely am. So
Yeah.
I apologize. So I have the, so read that for me, please. I don't,
I'd be happy to. Public meeting, determination of applicability, 145 Oak Ridge Drive, Julian Zhao, map 22, parcel 26.
I have map 21, parcel 66.
Well, that's because that's what that says on this paper. So at the last meeting, you moved and voted to issue this determination with conditions, including John's inspection of the site.
Was that on March 12th?
Yes, on March 12th. Seems like the last meeting, but it was in fact March 12th.
It was, in fact, our last in-person meeting.
That must be why I thought it was the last meeting. So I've got the negative determination all set, and it's the first time that I'm using your electronic signatures. So I want, here they are, your electronic signatures. The other matter with this, I alluded to earlier with the tolling or suspending of the appeal period. And this seems like a good time to get into that whole long. So between the Municipal Relief Act and an executive order that were issued kind of in the same time frame to address the ability of the commission to do its business, as well as issues of the open meeting law, there was created a black hole for the DEP part of the appeal of a determination or of orders. So the public appeal period for a group of neighbors or, hello, who's joining us? Hello?
Hi,
Who is this, please?
Who is this?
this is Clark Page.
Who? I'm sorry. What is your business with the commission?
I have none. I just wanted to listen in on the meeting.
All right.
Okay,
Great.
welcome. So as I was saying, the 10-day appeal period for abutters or a group of residents to appeal a determination or a permit still stands as it always has. But DEP's ability to appeal has been suspended until 45 days after the end of the state of emergency. And DEP realized that this makes it very difficult for applicants to actually go ahead and do work, because you've got to let the appeal period run before you can start work. So DEP has set up, it's actually their regular contact, the 0_NOI email address, but they've got a special subject line that an applicant can use to send DEP an email as well as a hard copy through the regular mail asking if DEP intends to appeal or not. And DEP is saying right now they expect to be able to respond to that kind of request in 2 to 3 weeks. So I think I sent you a draft of a letter I was working on to Mr. Zhao about this. I've refined it and tried to make it as simple and accessible as I can, but it's a really complicated situation. So basically, he's going to get this determination, and then he's got to write to DEP and ask them if they're going to appeal and he's got to wait 2 to 3 weeks for them to answer before he can start his work. And this is the same situation that will apply to any order of conditions or any other determination that we issue.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. I don't really understand why the 2 appeal periods are treated so differently under these 2 kind of enabling documents, but there we have it. Just so before I sent out the negative determination, I wanted to show you your electronic signatures and let you know that I think I've done a pretty good job of explaining this appeal situation to Julian, and I've given him all the addresses and email addresses and subject lines, everything he needs to do in order to be in touch with DEP to find out if they're going to appeal or not.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they would.
Yes, I would be surprised too, but they still need to be asked.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Or Julian has to wait for, who knows how long. So that's all I really had to say about that. It's ready to go. Which feels like progress, really, to have something ready to go.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult project for Julian to do. I have no idea how he's going to do it, but it's up to him.
Well, and it's good that he knows he needs to do it, and it's really good that he came to see us, and we'll just see what happens.
Yep. I think it's a very nicely written letter. Any comments on that from the commission? I think people are muted.
Yeah, no comment.
No comment. Jess, comments?
I'm. Oh,
I just unmuted you.
somehow I got muted. No comments.
Jen, you have any comments?
No, thank you.
Okay, how about Jen?
Nope, nothing.
Mark?
No,
No, I'm good.
Yep. George, good?
Yeah, I'm good. I like the letter.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next action item, which is an ANRAD for Stratton Hill subdivision. Wait a minute.
Or that's coming up with the criteria, right?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
So,
Hush.
I've just shared with you the grid that I put together. This is the agenda item outline discretionary criteria for accepting applications during pandemic state of emergency and review new applications. So during this trying time, the commission has the sole discretion to open public hearings or not open public hearings. And through a series of weekly Zoom calls with DEP, MACC, the Municipal Conservation Professional Association, and Maddie, and various lawyers, including one of our technical lawyers, Amy Kressel. It's been strongly urged that the commission have some way to assess applications that are coming in and decide whether to open a hearing or not open a hearing. And making some attempt at having a rational process, and then being really consistent about it means that people won't be second guessing the commission as time goes on. They won't be saying, well, you opened that public hearing, how come you're not opening my public hearing? And through these weekly Zoom calls, some of the criteria across the top of the grid have been talked about as a way to sort of sift through the projects that are coming in. And I thought if we just looked at this together, these are our projects on the left-hand side in chronological order. We just got the RDA from Nashua Street yesterday. I kind of envision, so let's just take the first one, emergency. Is the project an emergency, yes or no? And we could put a Y or an N in each one of those boxes. The amount of public interest could be low, medium, or high, and we could base that. I mean, I've been getting phone calls as folks get abutter notifications for various projects. People are calling, which is good. Amount of resource area impact, that could be low, medium, high. Order of receipt, that's just a number. Permits in hand, I think the MSMCP people were saying, you know, if we are the last thing that has to happen before a project can go forward, that's a yes or a no. Yesterday, someone suggested, well, is it a subdivision of greater than 3 lots? That could be a complicated project. And septic systems, air is 95% sewered, so we do have some septic systems out there. Is it a complex project? Yes or no? Is it urgent? That could be high, medium, low. So I think it would be easy to go down through the list of projects and kind of score them as a way of deciding whether to move forward with the application or not. So what do you all think about that?
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I think you got some good categories there, so this will narrow it down nicely.
Good. And are there other categories that you can think that we should add, or any that we should exclude?
Can you combine the subdivision and the complexity? Because when you say subdivision more than 3 lots, you're saying complex.
Yep, that we could do that. If we get another large-scale solar project with wetland resource issues, that would be complex but not a subdivision. Or if we get, I think we're going to be getting a notice of intent for Catania Oils, because they want to basically double the size of their building, and there's I think that's mostly buffer zone, but again, it's not a subdivision.
guess, what's the difference between emergency and urgency?
Well, an emergency might be, well, think of all the things that could be an emergency. A dam has broken somewhere, a culvert fails.
I guess I assumed if they were an emergency, we're just going to put them on the agenda anyways, just move that, right?
Yeah, well, if
And not
it's,
given.
you know, if it's a sudden emergency, there's the emergency certification that I can do outside of a meeting.
Right.
And then urgency, do any of these strike me as being urgent? No one is pressing us for action on any of these at the moment. Though I think if any of them, hi Juniper, no, don't do that. I think Lot 6 Shaker Road may, the developer may start pressing us for that. So I could fill this in and circulate it, and then maybe at the next meeting we can decide whether you want to open any of these or just let them sit.
You hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I do think, and I think Jen and Mark addressed this at our last meeting too. If there are some that really there's no urgency, but they're pretty simple, and we don't expect any public opposition, then we should do what we can to move things off our docket so that eventually, you know, if the state of emergency is lifted, we don't get flooded. So to clear what we can. I don't know how we'd put that in as a criterion.
Well,
It'd be the complexity piece, right? So you'd have your complexity piece, your amount of public interest, maybe amount of resource area impact would all be low.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this would be low, medium, high is what you're intending, Joanne, for the market?
I think so.
Okay. And then I was just thinking on urgency, maybe is that some way, shape, or form of like break ground date or something, like, you know, they're anticipating starting such and such a time. So, you know, we know that we could potentially be someone holding things up. Like you said, permits in hand, right? Are we that last piece?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we get that certificate of vote squared away, we can start getting things off our list.
Well, I think so, and it would become a question of which order do they come off the list, and if we kind of score them, then we can rank them.
Well, I mean, the things that we have on our plate right now, we can clear those up, and then
Yes.
we can devote more attention to upcoming.
Yep. So the request for certificate of compliance for 130 Woodland Way. I'm glad you're all sitting down because we have received an affidavit from
Wow.
from the first buyer of that house to the second buyer of that house. And we've got the as-built, and we've got the Deschang's inspection report, and what he was calling a restoration report. The yard was kind of a mess, and it's now all squared away. The question is, can we go look at it? Can I go look at it? I've got photos, but I think, you know, being there in person which brings me to the next thing we have to talk about, according to this weekly Zoom call, is crafting some kind of process and procedure to have me do inspections and have us do site walks again. We need to know what that looks like. Some other commissions are prohibiting their agent from going out in the world, all the way up to, I think our planning board is planning on doing a site walk of Air Solar 2, and which seems premature to me, but they didn't ask me. So that's something we need to think about too. So in the interest of time, how about if I complete this grid and put the projects in an order that makes sense based on the scoring, and we can take it up at the next meeting.
So Joanne, I guess I'd say, so maybe instead of low, medium, high, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 1 being high or low, however you want to do it. So you can make 3 the high, and then that way it's a simple math exercise to say, well, this one scored, what do we got? I don't know, 30, right? That kind of deal. So everybody okay with that?
Yeah. So the higher the score, the faster it would be to get it through.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Does that make sense?
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
So a yes answer would be 2 and a no answer would be 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
All right. Yeah, that seems really rational and objective and easy to implement so that we can be consistent.
How would you score order of receipt? Maybe that one comes out of it, I guess. I don't know. Because you can't do a 1, 2, or 3. I guess it's just.
That can be the tiebreaker.
Well, so they're already in order of receipt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll think about that one.
Yeah, I think that whoever said tiebreaker, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe order of receipt. You don't really score that one. You just put the date in there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fine.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
I think that's a good plan. Thank you, Joanne.
No, you're welcome. It was kind of fun, actually. I like putting things in order.
Any more comments on this particular item? No?
No.
So we're moving on to Conservation Office and member updates.
I'm going to fly through these office updates, and Jess, I can give you a printed copy of them if you would.
Okay.
If I leave you in the dust. So last week.
Oh, do you want to get that grid off the screen?
Oh, I could do that. There we go. Last week, I was looking at our bookshelf in the office at all the stacks of field guides and trail guides that I had been collecting from Fish and Wildlife and MRPC, and I thought, I could give these away. So I asked Cindy if we could put up a Facebook post saying, if you need a distraction, Conservation Office has all these really great resources. Just send us an email and let us know what you'd like, and I'll pop it in the mail. And I ended up sending out about 20 packages of various combinations of our field guides and Pine Meadow map and the regional trails map. And it felt really good to be doing something nice like that. It was very pleasing. People were so happy to in their asking and thankful. It was really, it just felt really good. Let's see, the weekly Zoom call I was telling you about, DEP has updated their frequently asked questions. That's kind of a continuing to evolve sort of situation. Town hall staff is back in the building. We're all there together doing our best to keep each other safe. The building's still closed to the public, though we've discovered that because I have a screen in one of my windows that faces the park, that people come up to my screen and say hello. And I've had some very nice drive-through visits. So George, if you need some human contact, and the window's open, come down and say hello.
I will.
Good. So the building's closed to the public. However, voting is still going to happen in Town Hall on June 2nd. And the staff will not be in the building on that day. So the 2019 annual town report is out. It's available for download on the town website, and there are, that's the cat's ping pong ball going down the stairs. It's available for download on the website, and you can request a printed hard copy of it. I've asked again for the weed treatment control contract. Jess wrote up a very nice history of the sheds situation, and I'm hoping this week to get that department head review out to the department heads. Yesterday, I listened to an MACC Lunch and Learn about photovoltaics in Massachusetts, state incentives, and municipal planning. That was really, really, really good. As soon as they post it on their website, I'll send you all the link to it. It's so complicated, the new incentive and disincentive system for large-scale solar in the state. And at the end of it, they went through some very good ideas for conservation commissions to address the loss of habitat issue. Let's see, on the oil spill, Omni and Trident are going to be working as soon as we get a not too rainy day to try to equalize the flow from the outfall into the two channels. Right now there's really, most of the water is going to one channel, and so the other side of the wetland is not getting the kind of water it used to be getting, so they want to even that out. And then the last item is accounts payable, whether that continues to be an agenda item or not. It was suggested to me by the assistant town manager that our bills can all be approved by Robert under our town manager form of government, rather than taking meeting time to approve invoices to be paid. And if we're going to be under time constraints with this format of meeting that we're having to use, I would like to know how you want to deal with that.
So we wouldn't know anything about accounts payable? I mean, or
Well,
I'm not
Yeah.
sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that either.
It doesn't take that long normally.
No. And I suppose what I could do as a middle ground is just when we have an invoice, I can just tell you what it is, but we don't need to vote on it and we don't need to pass it around to have it signed.
Mm-hmm.
So I receive it, I tell you about it, then I have Robert approve it. Or I think there are some of them that I can approve under a certain amount. Yeah, and the ones for like our revolving account with legal ads, where we're getting reimbursed for those.
I sort of like, for things that are coming, I mean, the revolving fund for legal ads is not an issue, but things that are going to be coming out of our budget items, I'm not keen on letting go of control of that from our commission.
Agreed.
Which means what? That we would still vote on it and then go through the process as we do or doing it now, or then just pass it on to Robert to sign it.
I guess I'd rather we kept an eye on what we're doing by voting on it ourselves. And then, Robert could sign it then, certainly, if it needed a signature beyond Joanne's on our behalf during this state of emergency. But I don't know. George?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things, if we know they're coming, that we've already approved whatever action. I don't see why we need to vote on the invoice again. Maybe we could get a report on invoices approved, invoices pending, or something like that. If we have any issues, then we can bring it up.
It seems like a pretty good idea. Yeah, how do people feel about that?
We're saying we don't have to have them at the public meeting and be approved at the public meeting. It could be approved by someone else. Can the invoices and the information be circulated via the our town emails so that we can see them prior to and come to an agreement there and then pass that on to Robert to complete? Or is that not part of open meeting law then?
Yeah, that's not that's deliberation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is Robert signing them without us as part of it then? Is he's signing them in his meeting? Is that the idea?
Without a meeting.
So that's not open then either, right? So that doesn't seem like that really works.
No, this is something that was triggered by the change of form of government from town administrator form of government to town manager form of government. And maybe what I need to do is find out more about what we're actually being asked to do in the interest of time, because we're
Yep. Yeah, we got 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, just say that the commission appears to have some reluctance to, without more information.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. That's fine. Let's leave it at that.
Yep. So that's all I've got.
Okay. George, you have anything?
I just had a question. What's going on with the enforcement order in the house on Washington Street?
I'm going back and forth with Michael Mazzola, the owner, and he's waiting for me to answer some questions for him about completing the notice of intent. So it's very much under process.
Okay, that's all I got.
Mark?
No, I've got nothing.
Nothing. Jen?
Nothing.
Jess?
Just a question is, anybody planning on attending, you see she's killing it. Anybody planning on attending town meeting on the 15th? I understand it will be limited.
Yeah.
I'll go if
Limited in
possible.
what sense?
Hmm?
Limited by,
I think that what I saw in the Board of Selectmen meeting, I think last week, was they're going to limit capacity in the auditorium to about 65 with spacing. Everybody has to wear a mask. And they'll have overflow in the cafeteria.
so that's
I'm
about
assuming-
half what they normally have?
Well, I think normally they can get up to about 200 people
200.
that actually attend, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be interested in going, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Do you know if they're going to broadcast it at the same time?
don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. I know if it starts to drag on too long, if I go and it starts to drag on too long, I might leave then because just don't want to be in the place for too long. But
Yeah.
I hope they can control that. So
It's just a first come, first serve getting in.
I would assume they wouldn't make all the staff come and use up those spots, but
I think
Yeah,
they'll be taking temperatures at the door.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a question. What's the status of our sheds up there?
oh, that,
No change. No change. That's what the department head review
Okay.
that I need to get out needs to happen, and we need to get comments back, and then hopefully we can make our recommendation to have happen what we want to have happen with them.
Okay. All right. Sorry, yeah, I didn't put that together. Thanks.
you got that out at the beginning of, say on Monday, we could have comments back for our next meeting.
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay, I have nothing.
Given from the audience, I'm good to go.
You have an audience?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Be safe.